Welcome, Corepunk fans! Today we are looking at the Champion and the Champion's 3 weapon specializations. Before I get into it, I'm going to invite you to hit that subscribe button because subscribing means that you will stay up to date with all the latest news, tips, tricks and guides for Corepunk. Hitting that bell notification icon makes sure that you will not be the last one to hear the news. The Champion is a noble warrior. Champion seeks out battles and lives for glory. They unleash their rage upon their foes like an unstoppable hurricane of power, breaking them with ease and knocking the absolute stuffing out of them. Champions bravely rush into a battle, launching a volley of arrows, striking enemies with their mighty sword, and rarely ever denting their shield. Their proud spirit, valour, and nerves of steel never let the champion down in a fight, bringing them victory after victory. So the first weapon specialization we have to talk about is Destroyer. Destroyer is a melee hero with a specialization in two-handed weapons. Having high survival rate, they sweep right into the heart of battle, dealing a lot of damage to their enemies. Fighting in a group, they can support their allies in critical moments, restoring team members' health for a certain amount of time. So the champion's Q ability, the champion dashes to the target area and deals physical damage in the area in front of him. All enemies affected by this ability are slowed. The W ability, champion throws their weapon in the target direction. It deals physical damage to all enemies it hits in its path. The E ability, champion shouts and gets buffed for 10 seconds, which increases their health and attack power. Enemies within a short distance from champion gets reduced armor and magic resistance. For the R ability, champion jumps to the target location and deals physical damage in the place of landing. All enemies in the affected area are stunned. And finally, the special ability, for each basic attack or use of ability which hits the enemy, champion gains 1% bonus attack power. The buff stacks up to 10 charges, and when the maximum amount of charges is reached, the movement speed is increased by 10%. The charge lasts 5 seconds and refreshes. Activation of the special ability is available on 10 charges only, and champion starts to whirl, dealing physical damage with their weapon every 0.5 seconds to all nearest enemies during 1.5 seconds. After that, all empowered charges fall off. The next weapon specialization is the Ranger. The Ranger is a hero who uses a bow and arrows. Toggling between two stances, they can choose to deal damage either to the target area or severely strike a particular target. Being part of a group, Ranger can be the main source of dealing damage but can also use crowd control to root and slow the enemies. For the Q ability, champion fires an arrow with a net in the target direction, which deals physical damage to the first enemy it hits in the path while rooting them. For the W ability, champion chooses the target area, which for the next 2 seconds is attacked with a hail of arrows, dealing physical damage once per second. All enemies in the area are slowed. All allies in the area gain bonus movement speed. For the E ability, champion can toggle between two stances. While in the first stance, champion's basic attacks reduce the armor of the target, the effect stacks 5 times. When switching to this stance, the next basic attack will reduce the target's armor by 15. Basic attacks deal less damage in the second stance but will slow enemies. When switching to this stance, basic attacks will additionally deal damage to the next 2 nearest targets with an on-hit effect for 6 seconds. For the R ability, champion fires a volley of arrows in front of him, dealing physical damage to all enemies affected by the ability. Champion leaps 4 meters back. And the special ability, champion's basic attack leaves arrows in the enemies. Champion gains bonus attack speed for each arrow. The effect stacks 10 times. The special ability can be activated, which triggers an immediate explosion of all the arrows stuck in the enemies, dealing physical damage. And now finally, the last weapon specialization for champion is the Defender. Defender is a tank who uses their sword and shield in a melee fight. They can withstand a lot of incoming damage and help reduce damage to their allies. While in a group, defenders taunt enemies to make sure they're the ones taking the most damage in attacks. The Q ability, champion empowers their next basic attack. An empowered basic attack during 7 seconds permits them to hit a single target with a powerful strike, dealing physical damage. After this empowered strike, champion buffs themselves, which reduce incoming damage by 3%. This effect lasts 10 seconds, stacks up to 5 times, and refreshes its effects period with every stack. For the W ability, champion throws their shield at a target. If the shield hits the target, it bounces to the enemies around it several times, dealing physical damage. The first target hit by the shield is stunned. For the E ability, champion jumps to the target location, dealing physical damage, and upon landing, taunts all enemies to attack him for 2 seconds. For the R ability, Champion raises their shield and for a short duration reflects all the incoming damage back to the enemy. The type of damage that is reflected is preserved. Champion is still able to move while reflecting the damage, and Champion becomes immune to crowd control and incoming damage. They also create an area behind their back in which allies take reduced incoming damage. For the special ability, Champion gains bonus armor and magic resistance for each enemy in a 3-meter range around Champion. So that is the 3 weapon specializations for Champion. Can you see yourself playing as a Champion, and if so, which weapon specialization do you think you would pick? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for listening. Hopefully I have earned your subscription by this point, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.